Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, forced out by flames, a daycare and apartment building evacuated because of a fire. No-go zone, the province's plan to fend off predatory tow truck drivers. And it's almost showtime. Edmonton's Fringe Festival preparing to entertain thousands.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Nearly 24 children at a local daycare woke up from their afternoon nap to the sound of fire alarms. A fire in an apartment in the same building forced the kids and tenants outside. CTV's Nara Manisa joins us live from the Bonnie Doon neighborhood this evening. So, Nara, you spoke with two people who live next door to the apartment that caught fire. What did they have to say?
Well, Matt, yeah, the couple, they live in that apartment building that has the blankets. They tell us that at first they smelled the smoke and then they saw it and then the fire alarms went off and they were in such a rush to get out of their apartment building, they didn't have time to put on their shoes.
We heard a bunch of popping and I heard people down below screaming fire. So I looked outside and saw smoke and fire next door. We left, no shoes, nothing, just the cats and her. And yeah, our neighbor across the way was, fortunately, I met him like an hour before this happened when I was on my way home, and he gave me a pair of shoes.
Michael McLean says he doesn't know when they will be allowed back in or if their apartment was damaged. Fire crews were called to this apartment complex on 87th Avenue and 91st Street just before 2 p.m. A fire broke out on the first floor in one of the suites. It's believed there are 8 units in the 2 stories, plus the daycare on the main floor. Crews were able to contain the fire within a half hour.
We did a very quick attack from the outside. They hit it from lines from the outside to hit the balcony. They knocked down the balcony very fast. Then they made entry into the building, and they encountered very light smoke. Didn't go to any other suites.
Now, the district fire chief says everyone was accounted for, including pets, and no one was hurt or required medical treatment on scene. A cause has not been released yet. Now, as for the daycare, I spoke with one of the employees. They did not want to go on camera, but they did tell us that they are grateful for the community's support. Now, when the fire broke out, the kids were napping. There were 21 kids that needed to be ushered to safety. And that is when they tell me that some neighbors ran in to help bring those kids to safety. People even came and brought snacks and water until their parents were able to come get them. Now, they believe that there is no damage to the daycare, but they will remain closed and hope to reopen on Monday. Back to you, Matt.
All right, Nara Manisa live in Bonnie Doon this evening. Thank you. Police are trying to identify a man accused of sexual assault. Investigators believe there may be more victims. Police say in early July, a woman was trying to get an Uber near 113th Street and Jasper Avenue around 1:30 a.m. A man offered her a ride home, drove her to a residential construction site in the Blatchford neighborhood, sexually assaulted her, and then left her there and drove off. The man is not an Uber driver and did not identify himself as one. Police say the man stated his name as Pharaoh and said he was from Egypt. He's believed to be in his late 20s with facial hair, a muscular build, and speaks with an accent. He was driving a black Audi car. Investigators are asking anyone who may have interacted with him to come forward. The province has Edmonton's bike lanes in its crosshairs. Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says the new lanes on 132nd Avenue are problematic and work to cannibalize lanes of traffic. He'll be meeting with Mayor Amarjeet Sohi soon to discuss what comes next. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
This section of 132nd Avenue has had a new look and feel for about a year, part of a multi-year neighborhood renewal project.
This was a place where people just tore down it, right? Fast. It was like a drag strip because it's sort of hidden and it's a wide road.
Now there's only one lane each way for cars with permanent bike lanes on either side, separated from the road by boulevards.
It's way, way better. People are actually yielding to me around here now. I'm waving to people instead of flipping them off.
While some cyclists feel safe enough to go hands-off, the provincial government is going hands-on.
We've seen, obviously, 132nd Avenue being a really problematic bike lane.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen has had Edmonton's bike lanes on the brain since April, suggesting the government could intervene in projects it finds problematic, possibly even ripping them up. He met with Calgary Mayor Jody Gondek last week to discuss the issue and plans to meet with Mayor Sohi next week.
We've heard, tons of petitions and lots of people have been writing in saying that that is a bad 4-lane major thoroughfare that's going to be shrunk in half.
Minister Dreeshen insists bike lanes are fine as long as they don't take away travel lanes for cars.
There's more and more drivers in Edmonton every year, and to reduce the road capacity for those vehicles is the opposite of what we're doing as a provincial government.
The provincial government should do things in their provincial jurisdiction. Leave the damn cities alone.
This man believes the avenue is over-engineered. There's no need to have bike lanes on both sides of the street, but he rides them 5 days a week anyway to stay fit.
I mean, they're here. I paid for them with my taxes, so I'll use them, but they're totally underutilized. I hardly see anyone on them.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The first train car for the Valley Line West LRT is now in Edmonton. The city says it came from a Hyundai facility in South Korea, crossing the Pacific Ocean by ship before finishing its journey by truck from Washington. The train cars will continue being delivered through 2027. Construction on the Valley Line West is expected to wrap up in 2028. Artists and actors are ready to break a leg at the Fringe Festival next week. Preparations for the theater festival are well underway on and around White Avenue. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, organizers say there's a show for everyone.
5, 6, 7, 8.
It's nearly showtime. The Fringe Festival is ready to pull back the curtain and showcase more than 200 productions next week.
Tickets aren't more than $20, so you really can afford to take a risk on something creative, something fun, something you haven't tried before.
Beyond the laughs and sounds inside the theater, people can experience the best of the arts outside, too.
We'll have live music every night. It's free. You don't need a ticket, but there's so much to see and do.
Everyone is welcome, including some long-tailed rodents who snuck into the province.
We are the last 2 rats in Alberta, and we decide one day that we need to take the province of Alberta to court.
Organizers say the cost of putting on the festival increases every year. They're looking to double their monthly donors to keep up.
We want to get over 1,000 monthly donors joining the movement so that we can ensure we're here for many generations to come.
35 porta potties were adopted last year for $250 each. They will display names chosen by the donors. One of the festival's sponsors, Sea Change, has brewed up a way to help with donations. $1 from each can will go to the festival.
The Fringe Beer Tent Blonde Ale is just incredible, and it's going to be sold all summer long, not just during the festival, and that's really special.
While thousands of visitors will enjoy the shows, the actors are also excited to be part of the audience.
It's so fun seeing how out there art is and how so many different types of things are being put on throughout the Fringe.
Yeah, we get to make things that we wouldn't get to do anywhere else, and we just get to try new things, and everybody supports each other, and it is my favorite time of year, better than Christmas.
The 11-day festival begins next Thursday. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Josh is working on a performance of his own this evening. Josh, unlike the Fringe, though, that's just beginning to heat up, yours is beginning to cool down. Talking about the forecast, of course.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad for the clarification. Temperatures tomorrow should be about 10 degrees cooler than they were today. 28 degrees in downtown Edmonton right now. We'll get to about 18 or 19 for a high tomorrow. 26 is Villeneuve, Stony Plain, International Airport, Elk Island at 22 degrees. A little cooler to the east. Again, just east-northeast of the Edmonton area. Had some thunderstorms bubble up through this afternoon. 14 for your morning low. We actually got to 29 for a daytime high within the last hour. So 5 degrees warmer than average. Here's what it looks like outside with the CTV drone. It has been a beautiful afternoon. For a while, if you were looking off to the east and northeast, you could see these big, billowing thunderstorm clouds. Not seeing those as much anymore as those storms have moved further and further away from the Edmonton area. We were for a while under a severe thunderstorm watch, and then we saw those storms pop up east of the city and start moving away, and the watch got ended. Still in effect for the areas in yellow. You also have a rainfall warning, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the next weather chat, but that's mainly for tonight and tomorrow through the course of the day. Here's your thunderstorms around Murnum, up around Athabasca. You've got some thunderstorms, but look at the Edmonton area. All of these popped up right here, just off to the east-northeast, almost the exact same spot as yesterday, and then just moved off to the northeast. So we're in a break right now. The rest of this evening, at least the early evening hours, look quite nice. There are some broken showers, maybe a couple isolated thunderstorms that late tonight could come through. I really don't think there's all that much of a risk of thunderstorms, though. It's more like a chance of showers that will change to rain late tonight through the overnight period. That rain sticks around through tomorrow morning and then should break down a little bit tomorrow afternoon to just a few scattered showers. Some hit and miss showers in the forecast for Friday as well. We'll talk more about that. Take a look at the weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, how the province plans to protect Alberta drivers from predatory tow truck operators.
Unfortunately, there are some dishonest tow truck operators in Alberta.
By James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The provincial government is making it harder for what it calls predatory tow trucks from crowding crash scenes. While supporters say the new rules will prevent people from being taken advantage of, some tow truck drivers say more needs to be done to prevent bad actors. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
Unfortunately, there are some dishonest tow truck operators in Alberta.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says those drivers will be punished by the new rules the province is bringing in.
We will now be requiring tow trucks to stay at least 200 meters away from a collision scene unless instructed otherwise by police or the driver of a damaged vehicle.
Tow truck drivers who enter the new exclusion zone uninvited will face a $1,000 fine. The province and police are hopeful the rules will deter predatory truckers.
Drivers should not have to worry about being taken advantage of by the people who are supposed to show up and help them.
In May, EPS charged 10 Edmonton-based tow truck companies with fraud. Police say they were demanding people use their services at crash sites, inflating bills, overcharging insurance companies, and refusing to allow access to vehicles. Police say those charges haven't stopped reports of predatory towing. AMA says it hears about it daily.
Individuals that find themselves broken down on the side of the road or involved in a collision where maybe one or multiple predatory towers are coming towards them.
People are running scanners on fire trucks to go to these accidents.
Tow truck driver Trevor Barlow says the city needs set rates per tow. He also wonders how police will enforce the rules at crash scenes when they don't go to every crash.
I've been in this industry 35 years, and I really have never seen any policing of it.
Anytime that we don't have attending emergency services, whether it's police, fire, or ambulance, it creates perhaps fertile ground for these unethical operators.
The province says it's looking into more ways to curb predatory towing, such as a mandatory tow truck certification system and forcing rates to be publicly posted. The new 200-meter rules take effect this Friday. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Air Canada is changing how Aeroplan members earn points. Members will earn points on eligible Air Canada flights based on dollars spent instead of distance traveled. They will earn a minimum of 1 Aeroplan point per dollar spent. Air Canada will also introduce status qualifying credits as a new way to achieve Aeroplan Elite status. The changes begin January 1st. The Edmonton International Airport is giving travelers a new way to connect with local Indigenous businesses. Travelers flying into YAG today were greeted by a celebration of culture as the airport hosted an Indigenous artist market. The event showcases artwork, clothing, and jewelry from roughly 20 vendors from around the region. The market also includes performances like drumming and throat singing.
When you
take a look at the vibrancy of what some of these artists are doing and giving them that platform, that space for them to be able to showcase their wares is so critical in ensuring that we continue on with this reconciliation journey here at the airport. It's incredibly imperative and important to us here that we truly recognize the culture and the First Peoples that were here.
Organizers say they plan to bring vendors back around the holiday season. Still to come tonight on CTV News, the prizes available as the Stollery launches its Mighty Millions lottery.
As soon as you buy a ticket, you're making a life-changing difference for Stollery kids across Western Canada.
West of Calgary are cleaning up after a major storm flooded the streets with water and hail. In one neighborhood, rivers formed on the streets carrying a layer of hail. It created miniature lakes throughout the neighborhood and low-lying areas. Some people decided to have a little fun during the flooding. No houses or cars were seriously damaged. Maybe some frozen boogie boards, though.
Did you say miniature or miniature?
You're really going to start with that right now?
My wife and I have this argument constantly.
Well, let's not start that between the two of us. You're not tracking any hail today, but keeping an eye on some thunderstorm watches.
Yeah, there was a little bit of miniature hail, potentially. You're a miniature guy, aren't you?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and read it again. You're not going to catch me like that right now, I'll tell you that, though.
Take a look outside.
Just a miniature debate here on CTV News at 5.
Miniature. 28 degrees. The Action Furnace River Valley Sky Cam is brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Partly cloudy skies, and we hit 28.5 for a daytime high within the last hour. That'll go down as the high for today. Warmest day that we'll see for a while. 28's Fort McMurray, Cold Lake. 22 in Grand Prairie right now. And you do have some thunderstorms moving into the Grand Prairie area. Most of this activity, though, has been here off to the north and east of the Edmonton region, which, if you read the weather blog that we wrote this morning, we write it every weekday morning. It's on our website. You can find it by about 8 a.m. This is exactly where we were expecting those storms to develop. There's one new little cell there that's kind of popping up on the back edge of that, but we're in the clear here in the Edmonton area for the next little while. We'll wait and see what happens with these showers and thunderstorms coming off of the foothills. Yesterday, they did not roll through the Edmonton region. They all kind of fell apart, and then a few of them danced around the city. I don't think we're going to completely miss out on the rain tonight, but the thunderstorms may not be in the cards for us. You do have some thunderstorms, though, continuing for the next few hours up around Grand Prairie, but as of right now, no severe storms, just some watches in the yellow areas. And I think most of these watches are probably going to be ended here in the next little bit. This green zone, Evansburg, Edson, all the way north, it actually includes Slave Lake and the Valley View area. Rainfall warning starting late tonight, carrying through to the end of the day tomorrow, maybe 50 to 75 millimeters worth of rain. There's a low pressure system way to the west. There's a new little surface low that'll develop right around Edmonton, and on the northwest corner of that is where you're going to see some of the heaviest of the rainfall. So overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning, we're starting to see some showers or steadier periods of rain in Edmonton. Some heavier rain already back off to the west and northwest. You'll notice those yellow and orange zones mostly stay west of the Edmonton area in that rainfall warning area. So through the morning, showers or periods of light rain kind of breaks down a little bit midday or early afternoon. Still coming down fairly steadily, though, just off to the west of the city. There's a slight chance of a scattered shower or an isolated thunderstorm late tomorrow, maybe in the evening hours. And then as this low moves off, watch how everything kind of spins back through the Edmonton area, and occasionally you'll see some hit and miss showers on Friday. So it's not going to be a complete washout for Friday, but cloudy skies, cool once again, and some hit and miss precipitation. 10 to 14 degree range overnight. Should be in the low 20s across most of the north. A little cooler there where the rain is heavier. You'll be in the mid-teens for daytime highs. About 22 in Red Deer here in Edmonton. 14 degrees tomorrow morning with some rain overnight and through the morning hours. Gusty, gust to about 40 kilometers per hour and a high of around 18 or 19 tomorrow afternoon. Back to around 20 with that chance of hit and miss showers for Friday, and then mid-20s return for Saturday, Sunday.
All right, Josh, thank you. The Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation has launched its 10th annual Mighty Millions Lottery. This year's grand prize is worth $2.5 million and includes a fully furnished, nearly 6,000 square foot home in Cameron Heights and $100,000 in cash. Certainly not a miniature prize, Josh. There's also vehicle and vacation prizes as well as Oilers season tickets. Money raised will go towards research and buying specialized equipment for the hospital.
The best part about the Mighty Millions lottery is that as soon as you buy a ticket, you're making a life-changing difference for stalled kids across Western Canada. So for the past 10 years, Albertans have stepped up and they've shown their mighty support. So together, we have raised millions of dollars and helped millions of kids, and we hope that you do that one more time for us this fall.
Tickets are available online at mightymillionslottery.com. When we return, an outdoor yoga class allowing you to bend without breaking the bank.
I just really want to share all the benefits with other people.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, thousands of athletes arriving in Edmonton for the 2025 Alberta Indigenous Games. And a man in BC says a video captured on a security camera may not be supernatural, but it's having a magical impact. We'll explain tonight. Those stories and much more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. A community league in Edmonton is offering an outdoor exercise option flexible enough for any budget. Organizers say it's growing in popularity, and they hope it will bring in support for the league. CTV's Sasha Petramala has more.
Set your hips nice and low. The right knee is over top of the ankle.
At the same place, kids can often be seen lacing up for all kinds of sports. The Cumberland-Oxford Community League is inviting people to join an hour of calm and connection.
Get outside, also get some exercise, bring your friends and neighbors along, meet some new people. That's really what we're trying to do in our community.
And we're going to do this 3 more times.
Yoga in the Park is back for its 6th summer.
It's really grown over the last few years, and even every class. You see an extra few people as they walk by, see what's happening, and then they join the next week.
Organizers say the classes not only offer physical benefits, they also provide a space to reconnect with neighbors.
And I just really want to share all the benefits with other people.
Instructor Savannah says teaching yoga has helped her mental health.
Learning that you can slow down and just do what you need to take care of yourself and your well-being.
Yoga in the Park happens right here at Hudson's Park for the rest of the summer, every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Best of all, it's free of charge. What's your favorite part about it?
It's free.
The Community League is asking for support elsewhere.
We'd love for people to buy the membership and do it that way. So versus paying per time, we'd love for them to support us and buy a membership.
Whether you're a seasoned yogi or stepping onto the mat for the first time, Yoga in the Park is for everyone.
Just want everyone to feel welcome. So I try to make my classes very accessible to anyone, even if you've never done yoga before.
The Community League hopes attendance numbers will continue to grow.
It's nice to give an opportunity for people to get out, exercise, and enjoy those spaces around us.
Sasha Petramala, CTV News, Edmonton.
Sweep your arms up overhead.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.